something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there, telling me I got to beware. I think it's time we stop, children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. There's battle lines being drawn. Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds are getting so much resistance from behind. Time we stopped. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. What a field day for the heat. 1,000 people in the street.
Okay, hello. Welcome to a special guest episode of Day Release. We've been away for quite a while, haven't we? That's my fault. But you know, those who have been sitting waiting for us to come back, here we are again.
Legions of people.
Yeah, and we've invited George Russo back on, so that he can ruin his career one more time. We're going to be
It's
doing...
already ruined.
Ruined. You know, there's always...
Surely I can't do any more damage than I've already done.
Well, we're going to ambush you, I think, from the beginning before we start. Because last time we spoke to you, it was not long after Villain had come out.
Yeah.
You know, which is a pretty big deal.
Yeah,
but now I would argue you've probably been in something more high profile in terms of how many people have watched it, right?
What's that been? What's that?
The Hack.
Oh, the Hack. Yeah, okay.
Well, I haven't seen that. I didn't know about the Hack.
Balls on it. Huh?
I didn't know about this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so for those who don't know, there was a ITV mini-series about the News of the World phone hacking scandal.
Oh. Yeah, go on.
Which
didn't we speak about that, Rob?
Probably.
I'm sure we did.
Well, I did watch. I did watch the Nevers. I got around to watching that, so you know.
Yeah.
But that probably.
You were the only one. You're the only person that watched that.
I loved it, sort of.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, sort of. You know, but it ended obviously too soon. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it had potential. I think. Like, you know, I think for most first seasons of anything good, you know, sometimes are a little bit hit and miss, and they come into their own as they, you know, have a chance to sort of mature.
Yeah.
But that obviously wasn't given a chance because I think there was some sort of scandal with the guy that created it.
Yeah.
Who's that guy? What's his name?
Joss Whedon.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't know much about him.
Oh, really?
I don't know much about the scandal, but when I got onto set, there was rumblings of it, like, because apparently, like, all the big wigs of, like, HBO and I don't know who else had come down on set, and they were, like interviewing all the cast members to see if there was any inappropriate behaviour. Sorry, can you hear my dogs? Sorry.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Can you hear them?
I don't know, but even if we can,
suppression.
it just adds to the atmosphere.
They just like to bark. They like to bark at nothing, just to keep me on my toes.
Yeah.
I didn't know about this show, the Net. I think you might be right about it kind of being a bit buried because of this. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I think it was really unfortunate, you know. And I mean, I just like did like a self-tape for them, and they write these big shows as they go along, which is really weird. Like, it's kind of amazing that happens on such a big scale when there's so much at stake. So my role, like, at first I was like preacher. I forget what they were called. They were like, they had a name. They were like these like religious nuts that were against the mutant people with superpowers, and like my role like was just like street preacher or some shit if you like, not even a name. And then I kept getting like more scripts. They kept saying they want me for more. And then all of a sudden I got like a script through the door, and there was no preacher on it, but there was this character Simon. No one even fucking told me that I was going to be Simon. Like, this is how unorganized these things are. I just got a like a script through the door, and I thought, I think I'm fucking Simon. I was just learning Simon in the hope that it was me, because there was no other character. The other character that I was playing wasn't there anymore. So, and then the role kept expanding. And you want to know the weirdest thing? The woman that was the showrunner was one of the parents of the kids that went to Rose's school in Columbia Road. And I'd seen her, like a really unassuming lady. I think she'd taken over from Josh, whatever his name
Whedon,
is. I think she'd taken over from him. She didn't have many credits. And I sort of knew her just to say hello to. But we never acknowledged, like, we met each other on set, but we never actually acknowledged. It was really strange, like, that we knew each other from Columbia Road. And I was like too scared to mention it. Man, the fucking scale was so big, Rob.
Yeah.
Guys, it was so huge. Like, when I got onto the set, I was like, what have I got myself into here?
Yeah, it was
American directors, huge fucking period sets. It was like nothing I'd ever seen before.
Well, if you think Joss Whedon, he was off the back of Avengers after having done that, I think. But Avengers was where the scandals had started to emerge or something. But it was Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It was all the Buffy cast that kind of sort of traumatized from working with him, I think.
Right.
I think he was just a big bully, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it wasn't of a sexual nature then. It was more.
It was sort of like that. He had his, like, as far as I know, he had his kind of like his favorite sort of. He had his fetishized sort of, look, a particular, girl that he quite liked to, and for when it was those, I think he was kind of a bit. It was a bit. I don't know. He was a bit weird with them. But I can't remember what I've read about him, and I don't want.
You might have lucked out. He might have like Cockneys with beards.
Oh, you never know.
Yeah.
Oh, it could have fucking.
Well, yeah.
You've got to dodge the bullet.
George was wearing this sort of long black curly wig, wasn't he?
Yeah.
A bit like.
You know what? Like, I thought I was doing like a really good job, and then I watched like an episode, and I was just like, I was fucking awful in it. Like, I was just really overacting, and I was like,
no, you're fine, because
no one saw this.
Actually, that's probably why, because Joss Whedon sort of probably
why they cancelled the show, because I was like, shit.
No, I thought you were good anyway, so so you can't say so. Also, I think Joss Whedon likes kind of like, he likes people who present a character. And then there's something there that you can develop, and like, if you're kind of like a straight actor who's kind of like pared down, I don't think he really likes that. So
this is another. I'll stop going on about it. But like, they gave me, like, I had to do this like speech. Like, it was my first day ever on the set. I had to stand literally on a soapbox, like an apple box, in this massive fucking sprawling like. Supposed to be like Victorian London with no expense spared, like the detail, like down to
where was it shot?
It was like shot over like, where was it? It was like over by like White City way, like way over there somewhere, right out in like the industrial area. Some old.
Not Boreham Wood, or is that?
No, it wasn't Boreham Wood. It was actually like an old college, like an old. Like a real building, like an old listed building type thing, and there was this massive courtyard, and they had fucking all these cameras on cranes, and then the shot that they would. So then they gave me this script that I had to learn the night before. I think we went in for like a rehearsal, like the day before or something, maybe, I can't remember. But then the night before, one of the ADs rang me, or someone from production rang me up and said, "Oh, we like, the director thought that your dialogue, you didn't your speech was a bit short, so they're giving you a bit more. I'm not lying, guys. It was fucking monologue like that I had to learn the night before.
All right.
And I was just like, oh my God. And then I got on set, and it, like, when I saw it in its full glory, I was like, oh my days, this is. And then the opening shot was like this crane picking up these actors moving through the crowd at one, like, in a single shot, and then the crane come and it catching up all the action of the fucking horse and carts and kids running through the streets, and then the camera would come and find me like at near the end of the and if like I fucked the shot,
fuck it up,
like,
yeah.
And it was some big yank, not big, he was a little yank, but big in persona, like this yank director who had like lucky I didn't Google him before, but he'd like done, I think he'd done like episodes of like Game of Thrones and like what's the show with the where they're out in the, like, anyway, just loads of big like HBO shows, you know, that I'd seen and loved, you know, and then I was and then I was just doing my thing, man. I had to do it over and over and over again, and he never came over to me. He came over to me once, and you never want a director to come over.
Right.
Like if a director's coming your way, you're like you've done something wrong. Like if they leave you alone, you're doing a good job. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the director, like, he come over just once, and I thought, oh fuck, he's coming for me, like, and then he just said something like, well, you've got some great ones now, just have fun with it. And I was like, oh, you know, but yeah, nerve wracking, but good experience, you know, really good experience.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Those are the ones that make you.
But I never knew whether it was the girl whose kid I went to school with, whether she'd just seen the tape and said, that's the dude who goes to school with my daughter, I'm going to give him a job. You know, I always thought in the back of my mind, like, I just got that gig because she
like weird
recognised me at
nepotism.
the school gate, you know what I mean? And we never mentioned it, and I didn't want to bring it up or rock the boat in case she thought, that's the fucking dude from the school gate, like, get rid of him. What's he doing, like, on this?
This is uniquely actor paranoia. This is the stuff like that.
Probably. And like the money was obscene, and fucking it, and it was during COVID, and they would send a bike down to Dorset to give me a swab, and then drive back, or they would pick me up in like a massive car at my mum's, and I'd stay at my mum's in London, and drive me all the way to like Black Print Studios, where they would have shot some of the interiors and stuff, and do like a fucking COVID test and drive me back. I mean, I could have made 100 of my films that I've written, you know, like on just the COVID budget, man. Like if they just gave us the COVID budget, we would like be making movies forever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But anyway, to get back to, because I reckon The Hack was pretty well seen, well reviewed by a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
Has it not? I would assume something like that, quite high profile. Has the phone not been ringing?
Oh, it's just not stopped. It's not fucking stopped. I've had to put it on silent while I do this podcast, because I'm just constantly just getting offers, Clive.
I guess not then. But I would have thought so, because it's. I mean. Because just because it's ITV and so many people watch it, right? And it's a prominent role, right?
You know what? I do think that, like, yeah, I do think a lot of people have probably maybe seen it. I don't think it landed in the way that they wanted it to land. It was very bold in the techniques that they were using, I think, with that breaking the fourth wall.
Yes,
And most of the people that I spoke to found it like it took them out of it, and they didn't vibe with it. So I don't think they pulled it off, in my opinion, but I could be wrong. And I just think like not like people see stuff now, but it's so staggered. Do you know what I mean? It's not like it used to be years ago, like where everyone would watch something at the same time, and all of a sudden everyone knows who you are. Like there's so much, you know, content and all the millions of different platforms that like people are just watching things at different times and in different paces, and they might find you somewhere on something, but you know, I don't. Yeah, it's not like this collective, like, that's the dude who was in that. Let's get him in this thing that we're doing. It's like, you know,
because obviously I'm not there, so I didn't. But it's funny you say that, because that's what I got the idea that because there are a few things that still happens to it, right? The water cooler stuff, right? And I got the feeling that was one of those, but you're saying it wasn't like in the same way as like I don't know, like adolescence or something like that was.
Yeah, which is weird at adolescence. You know the connection with adolescence, right?
Barantini, right?
Fucking Barantini.
Yeah.
Fucking Barantini's become like the biggest director on the fucking planet, and he directed Villain, Robin.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's become this. I mean, it blew my mind. Like I was listening to like a Joe Rogan podcast with Affleck and the other fella, what's his name? They're always together.
Matt
I
Damon.
think I've got early onset, guys.
Matt Damon.
What? Yeah, Matt Damon. And they were like gushing over him about him. And I just was like, fucking hell, like this is crazy. It's like an alternate universe. I mean,
well,
like, they're still not fucking giving me any
They're not giving you all the money.
I'm starting to get paranoid. Like, what the fuck? Why are they not bringing me? Just giving me. I only want to
get back down the playground.
You're looking at it the wrong way around, George. Obviously, it's Craig Fairbrass was doing all right for himself, and then he got touched by the George Russo, and he got a hit. And Barantini touched the George Russo, and he had a hit. So there you go.
Well done, Clive.
The guy that shot Turnout, the guy that shot my first film Turnout, he won an Academy Award 2 years ago for best DOP for All Quiet on the Western Front.
Aye.
So you know.
So there you go. Once again,
success around me, and I'm still fucking waiting and getting older, and it's not quite happening. But you know,
so this is going to be great for our day release, isn't it?
Why?
Well, yeah, no, we're gonna skyrocket.
I mean, look how shit it is.
We won't ask you back on.
No. Then you never fucking have me on again. Oh, fuck that geezer, like.
But anyway, for what it's worth, I thought the show was kind of quite good. I thought you were very funny in it. You had the nice, all the exchange with David Tennant about your fucking Willy Wonka now with all the Mars bars and all that. I thought that was quite funny.
And he was a really nice fella, actually. He's a lovely geezer, actually. He was really nice. And I walked down onto the set with him, and I was quite nervous, because again, it was big. It was a big, like they locked off all this street, big lights up. Like there's different levels to shoots, And I was walking down, and me and him. Like they said, "Oh, do you want us to drive you down?" And I said, "Oh no, I'll walk." And David said, "Oh yeah, I'll walk." And we was walking down, and I was just honest. I said, "Fucking hell, I'm a bit nervous." I said, I said it's a bit tricky being like a day player, and it is like just coming in because these guys, like when you shoot something and you get the chance to be on set for a while, you ease into it. Like the first few days are like you're getting to know who the cameraman is. They're all strangers. You feel all self-conscious. Once you sort of know the cameraman, you have lunch with the sound people, and you meet the makeup, and you start to relax, and you start to do stuff, and people are going, "Oh yeah, what you're doing is all right," and then you ease into it. But when you're just like a day player, sort of couple of days, and you're in and out, or you're in sporadically, it's nerve-wracking. And he said to me something like, he said, "Don't worry, everyone is a day player on here."
How many days were you on it for?
It was probably about a week all in bits.
Right.
In bits and pieces. Yeah, something like that.
So you, because had you not, because when you did do a Doctor Who, didn't you? Was he not your doctor? Who was your doctor?
No, I was on the first ever episode of Matt Smith.
It was all right. It was
the first Doctor. It was his first episode as the Doctor. He'd just become the Doctor, and he was like, he was like fucking blown. Like he was just, full of sort of energy and nerves and fear because he had this whole machine. Like Doctor Who is a fucking machine. Like it's a massive like cult thing with all these people that like hang on every detail and he was like the spearhead of this and no one really knew whether he was going to be good or you know what I mean, like and he felt the pressure of that, and it was him and Gillan, what's her name, Ginger Girl,
Gillan,
her, it was her, like they were both like newbies, really unknowns, and and they were like they were really cool, both of them.
Another couple of people who became famous after meeting George Russo.
Another couple of people who've been fucking like just absolutely smashed it. Yeah.
He was actually surprisingly good. Charles Manson as well.
He was actually. I saw a bit of that. Yeah, he was good. He's a good actor. and he's a really nice fella. Like, he made a point, like, months after I bumped into him at some screening for something that my friend was doing, and my partner was with me. She'd never met him. She was pregnant at the time, and he like see me across the room, and he made like a proper beat, like come cut, you know, like awkwardly shuffled down the cinema chairs, like excuse me, come over, and like shook my hand, took time out to say hello, how you doing? Like, nice fella, you know, nice fella. I think like it's hard for people when they get successful to keep their feet on the ground. It's really tough.
Yeah, because there's people between them and you as well, right? It's not them necessarily.
Yeah,
like,
I just think fucking ego, man. Ego just fucking fucks people, you know? It just really, like, it just really affects people. You know, it's tough.
But before I stop mithering you about it, did you have any contact with Toby Jones? Because you don't have any scenes with him in it.
I didn't have any contact with Toby Jones. I saw him on set.
Right.
And I was like, wow, like, you know, there's not many people who you think, like, you have major respect for, and you...
No, he's clean up.
A little bit starstruck, but Toby Jones is...
Yeah.
He's a badass, you know? So, like, I was like, wow, that's Toby Jones there.
I only ever had that, and he's not particularly huge, really, but I was on a film, and I don't know if you got another guy, Taguchi Tomoro, who played, like, Tetsuo the Iron Man.
Okay, I know the movie.
Yeah, or he was, and I was in the room with him. It was just a holding space for some people who were, you know, not the main players, but there for a few days, and I just couldn't do it. I was just like, no. And he's not an intimidating guy. You know, he's little, he's small, like Toby, but I did not know what to say, and I'm not usually like that, but with him,
you know, my one regret, right? Once I was at the BBC doing like a in their the one at Portland Place, which was where they do all the radio, and I was a youngster. And you know, Rob, me and Robin grew up, but like we were massive fans of the young ones, weren't we, Rob? Weren't you, Rob, as well? But I don't know if you remember, I was a massive Young Ones fan. And
more through you, I think. Yeah, but yeah.
And I was in a lift, and who steps in? Rick Mail.
Oh.
Steps into the lift, man, and I never I mean, I was a kid, I was like 10 or something, and I never said anything to him, but I was just like, fuck. He was like a god to me, Rick Mail. Loved him, you know, obsessed with him. Yeah.
Wow. You probably would have liked that as well.
He'd have been nice, I think.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, I would imagine he would have been nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Oh, well, anyway, there we go. There's the part of the show where George gives us insider gossip.
Well, I reckon we'll probably get some more.
Yeah, I think we'll get away with that. Don't think there was anything. Don't think there was anything.
Do you want to know a really last funny story on the hack?
Go on.
So I was in the green room, and like Phil Davis was in there. I don't know if you know Phil Davis. He was in there, and and then there was this actress in there, and I never recognised her. Like, I didn't know who she was. She was just like this little sweet actress, and we sort of said hello. We had a little chat, and then a couple of days later, I was meeting some friends in Camden Passage. All right, and we was going into this cafe.
This sounds like an euphemism. I was meeting some friends in Camden Passage.
You fucking trust you to go there, Clark. So yeah, it was in Camden Passage. It's a famous place in London, in the back.
Right.
Of,
I believe you.
Islington. Yeah. And then I saw the actress. She was in like the window, sitting on her own, having a cup of coffee. And she's like, give me a little wave like that. She's a little red-headed actress. And I was with some friends, and I said, oh, there's this actress. I met her on a job the other day. I better go over and say hello. She's all on her own, poor little. I don't want to like ignore her. So I sort of went over and I said, hello, how you doing? And she was like, yeah, I'm very good, thank you. I said, how'd you get on the other day? She was like, yeah, it was all right. I said, have you got much on it? She said, yeah, I'm sort of in it quite a lot, actually. Like, oh, okay, that's great. And then I went and sat down with my friends. And then I don't know if I Googled her at the table. I thought, hold on a minute, who the fuck is she then? She's got a massive part in the hack. She's got a sort of like, because it's all names in it. And it turns out like she's fucking married to Kit Harrison. She's the girl from Game of Thrones, the redhead girl that he ends up with in it. I forget her name, Rose something. But there's me.
Yeah, she's one of the other journalists, isn't she?
Yeah. She's like a massive part in it. And there's fucking me thinking she's just some, you know, poor little jobbing actress. It's happened to me a few times like that.
It's funny, Robin. He met George mentioned Phil Davis there, of course. Phil Davis, who made our favourite ID.
Oh yeah.
Is he in ID?
Didn't he direct it?
I don't
Did he
remember.
direct that?
I think so.
Because he is the Yeti in the Firm, the original Firm. He played the Yeti, right, with the blonde hair and.
Well, he's in loads of Mike Lee stuff as well, isn't he?
That's right.
Yeah. No. I'll just check. Well, I'm pretty sure that was like his one shot at directing something. Was that? Yeah, and he is in it. Yeah, he plays like a copper in it.
Okay.
What, in ID?
Yeah. ID.
Which copper does he play?
I think he might be the main policeman in it.
Oh.
Not the one who goes undercover. It's not him.
No, not.
You mean the dark-haired short
he's
one?
like his boss. He's the one who says like, "Oh, you're in too deep" and all that. And, yeah. But he's good. He's a brilliant actor, Phil Davis.
Yeah, he's great. He's great, man.
And he's been around like.
Yeah, he's got Quadrophenia, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Robin had a bit of homework for the first thing on the docket because, so as I want, we tend to watch recent. We won't say new because we've mentioned this before because we're all in different kind of territories. New is a relative term. We get stuff late here in theaters, but we get some. So anyway, recent. We talk about recent interesting films. We try and stay away from some of the more mainstream stuff. And first up is Chain Reactions, which is I don't know if you'd call it exactly a documentary about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's more 5 people's kind of recollections and meditations on
reflections on it. Yeah.
Which, amazingly, Robin hadn't seen before.
No.
So you watched it, didn't you, before watching the doc?
Yeah, I watched it.
And I'm very keen to find out because I absolutely love it. George, are you a fan of the Texas Chainsaw?
Massive fan of Texas Chainsaw. Massive fan.
How many?
Robin hasn't seen it. I just want to know.
Well, I mean, the reason is because, and I think so. Part of that was sort of in that documentary as well, is that the mythos around it and how it sort of, it was lumped together with, it was the beginning of those slasher films and Driller Killer and things like that. I've never seen Driller Killer. So I think in my mind, it was just a guy with a chainsaw cutting people up. So I had no idea that it would be so good. Like, I didn't know it was going to be a good film. I thought it was just a film that people said, "Oh, you got to watch it because it's, bloodthirsty and gory," and I just didn't know that it's almost an art house film in a way.
It really is. Yeah.
So I just didn't know, and then watching it, I was like, it was quite a revelation in that way. Like, it was not scary for me. I'm old now, so I don't think I can get scared anymore. But yeah. Hey, I said it. I just bollocks. Actually, I am actually really jumpy. Anyway, yeah, but it wasn't. It wasn't scary. It was just interesting and kind of like really, really well done, detailed art house bloodthirsty film. It's great. Loved it. Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it because there's elements of I keep forgetting. So the first time I'm not quite sure of the history of this because it's because it wasn't an official video nasty in the UK. It wasn't on the list, but it was. You couldn't see it. I remember.
It did get banned from the theaters, didn't it?
Yeah, because it had to, when it was in the theaters, it had to get a special license from the GLC, the Greater London Council, to play it in London only, and it didn't play anywhere else in the country, I don't think. And then I think what must have happened is someone put it out on Ivor, I think, put it out on video in the UK pre the video nasties thing, and then for whatever reason it wasn't targeted, and then I think they never saw fit to like, oh, there's no way we'll get that released, because famously the sense that originally when it couldn't get a certificate for theaters, they said like, well, we can't cut this because there's nothing in it. There's no actual gore or anything. It's just tone, right? So you couldn't get it on video, but we found it, and you might remember this, Robin. Me and Darren of this parish found a little video shop like in the middle of nowhere in rural Wales, near Glyn Abbey, actually, Robin. A place called Five Roads, I think it's called. And there's a guy with a little dinky video shop, and he had some stuff he'd kept over from the Video Nasty days. And we found out he had it, and we went there, and we were trying to act cool, you know, because we thought, oh, he's not going to sell it to a couple. Oh, yeah, so we heard you might have, you know, something of interest, you know, all this shit. And he's just like, oh, do you fellas want to see that chainsaw film, do you? Oh, he got it out back now, and he rented to us like a normal tape for like a week.
Wow.
And it was good.
How old were you?
17 or something.
Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't too scarring, but before I ask you, George, about your history with it, the other Texas Chainsaw thing I have, which I think is quite important, because I've heard other people say this as well, but I experienced it myself, was a few years ago. Oddly enough, it's showing this week somewhere in Tokyo. There's like a remaster. But a few years ago, they brought it back into theatres, and I went to see it. I thought it would be a little dinky art house theatre. Turned out to be in this massive room. And seeing it on a good sound system,
that
chainsaw is so loud.
Yeah, wow.
It's oppressive and scary. When did you see it, George? Do you remember?
You know what? I can't remember the first time I saw it, but there was this, like, its reputation preceded it, you know, and it was like that. It was like the holy grail of like of the video nasties. Although you say it wasn't a video nasty, it was. Like,
I don't think so. No,
it was like and it's the title, isn't it? It's the title, you know, more than anything. And like you say, there's no gore in it. It's hard. You don't hardly see any blood at all. And like, you know, how amazing is, like, what a testament to like Tobe Hooper to be able to like make a movie, you know, that's got just all this weight behind it, but actually doesn't actually have any gore in it at all. It's all like what you don't see in the way it's shot, and you know, I think probably the goriest bit is when she's put on the hook, right? No, I'll tell you what's the most disturbing bit. The bit that really stayed with me when I first watched it is the guy when you first see Leatherface. And he pops out and he hits the guy on the head, and the guy's like twitching on the floor.
Twitching,
I remember like being a kid and just being like obsessed with like twitching, like dying and twitching on the floor. Like,
well, when did you watch it then, George? Can you remember? How old are you?
Like, I was probably a teenager. I was probably a teenager, maybe like 15, 14, 15, because you couldn't get it.
Yeah.
You just couldn't get it. Yeah.
You must have had a bootleg.
Yeah, I don't know how I come across it, but like it was like a big ordeal, and I remember like really appreciating it, you know, like, and like even now, like I watched it not long ago. I didn't watch it for this, but I saw it within the last year actually, because I don't think my partner had ever seen it, or she hadn't seen it for years, and we watched it at Halloween just gone, and just the heat, like you feel the heat, like it feels dirty and clammy, and you feel like you need almost like a shower after. And and
there's another documentary, I think it's called Texas Chainsaw Family Portrait or something like that, and they go into big details about, and apparently the making of it was actually quite grim, because it was in the heat of summer, rotting meat everywhere.
They put real animals, dead roadkill, didn't they, in the house?
Yeah, that's right. And just man, it's just, and I love, my favourite scene is the dinner scene. You know, that's the scene for me, and it just peaks there, and it's nothing too like amazing like that happens in that scene, but it just reaches this mad crescendo, and it just everything about it really is just awesome.
It's properly hysterical, isn't it? Because when it gets because it's amazingly, that scene is genuinely funny as well. Like when they keep trying to put the hammer in Grandpa's hands, and he keeps that's actually just really, really funny in the most grim way imaginable.
I mean, I read that Toby Hooper wanted to make it a PG in America. That's why.
Oh.
Yeah. It was on Wikipedia. Oh, okay.
So what do you mean? Why? That's why what?
That's why it's got no blood.
Right.
That's wild.
Yeah, I don't know why it was shoot for the stars. Eh?
It's funny.
So
the
kids
other thing
could
that
see
struck me rewatching it as well was I keep forgetting that it does have. So, like the other film, I think you can compare it to in terms of just like feeling grubby and just genuinely like something wrong, is Last House on the Left, right?
Okay.
And Last House on the Left has got like it's tonally all over the place. It's got weird comedy in it and stuff. And I always think my memory of Texas Chainsaw Massacre is it doesn't have that. Like it's straight down the line.
Yeah.
But actually, it does have some stuff with the guy in the wheelchair, like blowing raspberries.
Yeah.
I
And
keep
even
forgetting
the guy
that's
in the
in there.
beginning, the head cheese guy, the brother, he's like quite a funny character, really, isn't he? Like,
Yeah.
They're all pretty slapstick, you know.
Yeah.
When they're with each other, the fact that the family, the fucked up family.
Yeah.
But like Leatherface, man, he's like he's just an icon, isn't he? Like, you know, and I fucking love Leatherface. Everything about him.
What did you think of people's the documentary? What did you think of people's reactions to it? That we saw. I quite liked.
Oh yeah, so we should say who they are, right? So it's Patton Oswalt, who I guess is comedian actor, director Miki Takashi, Alexander Helen Nichols, who's critic, and Stephen King. I was surprised to see him turn up, and Karine Kusama, right, another film director.
Yeah. I mean, I quite liked Patton Oswalt's interpretation of it, but I don't really think it. Maybe he just hasn't seen it recently. It's like it doesn't really work, maybe. But his idea that it's like as if something's descended over everyone, but
like a madness.
This sort of madness, and but all you're seeing is just. Well, I did like that. You're just seeing the events of just one family, but it doesn't. Unless, of course, there's a director's cut or something without all that sort of explanation in the beginning of it. I had another question actually. So did any of you see it when it? What I read was it was banned, and then suddenly in 1989 or 1998 or something. No, 1998. It was like unbanned. Properly, and then Channel 4 showed it the next year. Do you remember that? And I, of course, didn't have TV at that time.
My guess, if that happened, it would have happened. No, hang on. No, that can't be. I reckon it must have been 99 or something, because I left in 99. And if Texas Chainsaw Massacre had been on telly, I would have watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. So you're saying when did it become? When did they take it off the banned list? When was that?
Or is it like so that at 1998, it got it's on the Wikipedia. It was about.
I could see it being on the telly roundabout.
And then it's just. But I don't know if that's for TV audiences or whatever. Anyway, I was curious as anyone saw that.
It might have been taken off the list and given a certificate, and might have played a few theatrical screenings, but I reckon for home video and I don't know about television, I'm guessing maybe a couple of years after that, maybe, because after that's when the BBFC started loosening up, isn't it? Like up until well, up until I left, certainly they still had a fucking stick up their arse about everything. And now the BBFC seems quite.
Well,
I mean, you can pretty much, most things come out. They don't butcher stuff anymore, right, in the way they used to.
No.
And the levels of violence in films nowadays are like
And
insane.
everyday TV, it's like you see,
Right.
It's like, Jesus Christ, you know.
So what?
Yeah.
You used to have to go and talk to a dodgy bloke with a sports bag in the street to get stuff like that back in the day. I remember going to
I
the.
love the video shops. I mean, I grew up in those places, man. Hear me, Rob. We just like, they was like, you know, going there on a Saturday and just, I'd stay in there for hours just perusing the shelves. And it was all about the covers, you know, all about the covers.
Well, there's still a video shop down the road from me. I don't know how it's still open. Everything else is dying. Yeah.
What are they renting DVDs or?
Yeah. Unless they've gone by now, but I mean they stayed alive for ages unless they're a front of some kind.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So, any other like things that stood out for you?
No, it was great. It was great. It was great to see Stephen King on there. I love Stephen King, and like, and just do it. You know, hearing him sort of like championing Texas Chainsaw. It would give me a warm fuzzy feeling.
Yeah, no. Well, he was and the way it was kind of had influences everything. But
I found Alexander Helen Nicholas quite interesting, just because she was talking about how much it felt like an Australian film to her.
Yeah,
I thought that was
that same too. Because when she was talking about probably the copy you watched or both of you watched was all faded and things. I think it's more terrifying in that manner, like she was saying. And then
it did used to just look like soup back in the day.
Or when you rented from that same or maybe a different video shop, it was Cannibal Holocaust, wasn't it? We watched in Wales, and
that wasn't a rental. That was
a rental.
That's a fucking horrible film. That's like, they're killing all the real animals, right?
Yeah. That was really faded and sort of horrible.
I'd love to see a doc like this about Cannibal Holocaust.
You know what? That adds to it, didn't it? That like you felt like you shouldn't be watching it, and even like the opening. You know, the opening was genius with the fake news thing about it. Based on real events,
and those two bodies like strung up to the grave.
And the noise of the flash bulbs going on.
Yeah,
the music
it's so unnerving. Genius film. And then I think part 2, which I can't bring myself to watch. It's probably a fun movie, like if you could get away from the fact that it's supposed to be a sequel to this creepy eerie.
I'm with you. It's weird. It's got this weird critical reappraisal nowadays, which apparently, according to young people nowadays, everything that was shit in the 80s is now brilliant. But the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is just like Kim Newman said it most famously. I think he said something like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 doesn't just look like something made by someone who didn't make the original. It looks like someone who hasn't even seen it. Like, it's so different.
Far from it, like slapstick sending up of it, you know.
And I know that's supposed to be different, but I still don't think it's any good. I haven't seen it in a while. But
I haven't seen it. And it's got Dennis Hopper in it. I fucking love.
Dennis Hopper with 2 little chainsaws in holsters. That should be great.
That's like the Tarantino type thing.
I mean, I think Tobe Hooper was probably on a lot of cocaine.
He directed that one as well, did he?
And by the look at the film, where he went with it, he's probably high as a fucking kite when he made that movie.
He did some. I mean, I haven't seen it in a while, but Salem's Lot, I remember being pretty good.
That's right. Yeah, that was.
I've always really liked Life Force, even though that's kind of a big mess as well.
Is
I
what's
think
that?
I've seen it, but I don't really remember it. But I vaguely remember.
I think
Well, if you saw it as a teenage boy, you'd remember it because there's a bird with big tits in it for most of the film, and yeah, that was the big selling point when I was a young man.
Yeah.
But it's actually quite a good film as well. But it is like it's like Quatermass in the Pit or something, but with like a massive budget, you know.
Right. Yeah, because weren't he working like when he was making films for Canon or something?
Yes,
wasn't he?
that
Like,
was part of the. He did that.
Their go-to guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did. He did. I think he got a 3-picture deal. He did that, Texas 2, and the Invaders from Mars remake.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think he did. Yeah, it's
Take
an
your
odd
pick.
career.
Yeah,
Huh?
he never really like. I mean, I think it's hard to top that when you come out the gate with Texas Chainsaw. I mean,
Yeah.
where'd you go from there? You know, like you've already like fucking you've done it already.
Did you say
Exactly.
Rangers
Downhill.
from Mars? Is that what
Huh?
I have Rangers from Mars? Is that what you said?
Invaders from Mars.
Invaders.
Invaders. Yeah, yeah.
From
I'm
Mars,
sure he
okay.
did this one movie that I caught somehow, and it's set in like this hotel, like this motel place.
Oh, Eaten Alive.
where they've got like a
Death
pit
Trap.
out the back with a big
Yeah.
crocodile or something.
Yes.
That's
With,
Tom
yeah. With
Cruise, right?
yeah. It's the
Yeah.
one. It's the first one he made after Texas Chainsaw, actually.
But it's very Texas Chainsaw-like in a way.
It is.
Like,
Yeah, it's
got a
Texas
vibe about-
Chainsaw
but
Light.
with a budget.
Yeah,
but with
Yeah.
a budget. Yeah.
and a crocodile
And a
or
crocodile.
alligator. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I wouldn't mind rewatching that again. I think that's probably more fun than Texas 2, I think.
Yeah. Although I should watch Texas 2 before I comment on it, because, you know, I've never seen it. I can't bring myself to watch it.
Oh, you've never seen it?
Never seen it.
Ah, I thought you said you can't bring yourself around to watching it again.
No, I've just seen clips and and
All right.
and I've just never can't bring myself to do it because it
You
just
should
looks
watch Life
fucking
Force.
awful. It just
Life
looks
Force.
awful. I'm sure I have seen Life Force. I can't remember. Is there what worm things in it? Is there like these wormy, like little maggoty?
No, it's space
Oh,
vampires, basically.
Oh, maybe I
I
haven't.
need
Then.
to look at it.
Oh.
I think I can to see this.
So what did we think overall? Did we? Because I kind of, even though each person is, I quite like. So this director Alexandra Phillip, who also gets a screenwriter credit, which is weird because it's not really a written film, but they've done this a few times. They did that one, the Lynch Oz one, about all the connections with David Lynch and Wizard of Oz, and so they've done a few films like about and similarly like you were saying, Robin, the Patton Oswalt thing doesn't necessarily all hold together, and the other thing doesn't. But as a whole, I found this actually quite interesting to see all the perspectives.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I can never usually enjoy sort of talking heads, which is ironic because that's what we're doing. Takashi Miike's recollections of going to see Charlie Chaplin and
Oh yeah, that was quite
actors.
funny. Yeah, you
Yeah,
meant to
that
go
was
and see
pretty
City
cool.
Lights, didn't he? But
yeah,
that's right.
and then
And he never saw. He's never seen to this day. He's seen it.
Yeah.
No.
That was great. Yeah.
So I really enjoyed it because it's an unusual film, isn't it? And so therefore people's recollections were unusual. It wasn't just sort of I don't know. I can't. Those talking head things they have at Christmas where it's sort of like the first time you saw Wizard of Oz or whatever. I don't know. So that sort of thing.
right.
Which is still good.
Yeah.
Um,
So I'm quite keen to see they've made one since this. It's called Kim Novak's Vertigo, and I'm assuming it's
Okay.
all about like how. I mean, yeah, I'm keen to see that because that should be quite interesting as well.
Yeah.
because the
Yeah,
whole,
I love Vertigo. Great movie.
yeah, but also the whole Hitchcock's whole kind of weird obsession with his
Obsession with
actresses and
blondes,
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Toby Jones again, because he was in that one, he played Hitchcock, didn't he? In that, is it called The Girl? And it's about the making of the birds.
I've not seen it.
That was.
I've not seen it, but it sounds quite interesting. It's about Hitchcock's kind of basic, very toxic kind of relationship with his leading lady and the birds,
Okay.
Tippi Hedren, right?
Right.
Because isn't she the one who ended up doing that film with the lions?
Is
Where
that
she,
Tippi Hedren?
yeah,
Might
where she
be.
had all the
Raw,
real
right?
lions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, and people were being, because she got sort of, yeah, really quite badly hurt by the birds. And then she went on to thinking that, you know, that's a great idea. Do it with lions. And yeah, she had a film where it was like she had real lions and everyone got kind of a bit mauled and a bit,
Yeah, Raw is.
yeah,
Fuck that.
it's.
And it's a fucking Disney film as well, I think, isn't it?
I haven't seen it. You haven't seen it, have you?
No, I've not seen that.
Yeah, you're quite right. Tippi Hedren is in, yeah, because there's a whole documentary about the making of that as well, and yeah,
I
how
started
everyone was
to
basically
think about watching that
endangered
film.
throughout
Yeah,
the whole
unfortunately, it looks like quite a shit film as well. But like after all that, and everyone's kind of but it kind of looks how you would imagine it, where there's these lions attacking people. They're like, ah! And looking really
Yeah,
pissed off.
the cast are just scared the whole time.
Being actually like and really worried as well. Yeah. All right.
Okay, there we go then.
Yeah.
Chain reactions. I think we all seem to like it.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. You know, I thought it was good. And I love film making ofs and documentaries, you know, about movies. And sometimes I'll watch making ofs about films that I don't even fucking like. You know,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
I'm interested in how they're made and behind the scenes and yeah. And this one was good. And yeah, to see how the profound impact it's had on people, you know, and I think he's a little bit underrated, isn't he, Toe Pooper? A little bit, I think, because of the stuff he done after, which wasn't good.
Yeah.
And then he just sort of petered out, didn't he? Fizzled out. So it's nice for him to get his flowers, you know.
Yeah.
Props.
Even
on a masterpiece, a horror masterpiece.
Yeah. Because I remember when he did the Toolbox Murders remake, and I thought, oh, this will be good. This is him back on, and it just, didn't really work. No, I know what you mean though about watching.
And Leatherface as a character. I think,
oh yeah.
He's headed. I mean, he's him and Michael Myers. I think are the two top. You know, and then obviously you got Jason and Freddy, but you know the iconic movie. You know, modern movie monsters.
On that,
but Leatherface, man, he's number one. He's number one.
I was going to say on that, just that point about sort of that being his best film in a way was they spoke about that in the documentary about him having just pure creative freedom over it and everything being how he wanted it. But then, you know, and then every subsequent film being kind of watered down by, you know,
producers. Wings clipped,
and you were saying about the title as well, even like, that was another thing I remember Kim Newman talking about, because he remembered when the film like first came out, and now it's maybe different, but yeah, if you think about it, back in, you know, the mid-70s in the UK, someone's been to America, come back, you'll never guess what I saw on a drive-in marquee. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Oh, them fucking Americans, you know. It would have seemed like another world.
But then when you think about like the opening to what I just thought of is like like how he's influenced film, like the opening of Seven, which always stands out, like that horrible, gritty fucking. I mean, would that be if it wasn't for the Texas?
No, good point. It is.
You know what I mean?
That mixture of sound and vision, and
that like fucking just like creepiness, you know, and just filth. Yeah. I think you said it. Soupy. It's a good explanation.
You know, it could have been called the other names would have been Head Cheese. Was one name they thought
which
of.
Is quite. I quite
would have given it a different vibe.
It doesn't have the impact.
Saturn in Retrograde would have been terrible.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a science fiction film or something.
It sounds very like occulty.
Yeah. You know? Well, I mean, they had that element.
It's even more creepier. Like,
it goes to show that
sounds like a hilarious stoner comedy or something. Hey,
who's ever eaten head cheese? I mean, who the fuck has ever tried head cheese?
Oh well, Claire was saying that she hasn't tried head cheese, but what was she saying that it's in I've forgotten the name of the.
And what is it?
It is a genuine sort of southern thing. Toni Morrison book, I think it was, that she's been teaching. They talk about head cheese in that, so it's a genuine.
It's like the melted fat from
the skull and the brain and everything. Just use every single bit. But I mean, that's what I liked about the film. Like, thinking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre itself, like, it's like that to me. The key scenes, there's two key scenes. The one in the where they're around the table, but the other key scene is the hitchhiking bit, where he's like, he's like trying to impress them with his cool hand cutting trick,
right?
And then he takes a photo, and they're all just grossed out. And then he takes a photo and tries to get some money out of them. And they're like, I don't want you. It's fucking dark, and all his photos basically look like crime scene photos. He shows them his photos, and they're like all dark and kind of like the people going and then tries to get them to buy this photo, and they that's when he kind of goes mad at them.
And then it's one of the first ever never pick up the hitchhiker as well. Like, do. Like, but I mean, that's kind of like become old hat now, isn't it?
Well, but then you could say
like picking up the dodgy hitchhiker, but back then he was probably like the first ever dodgy hitchhiker.
Yeah, but you could say, but always accept people's hospitality, potentially. But probably not, because he probably would have killed them anyway. But, but then you've got this...
Optimist,
they should have bought the photo of his face.
Yeah, you should have bought the fucking photo. And then said, oh, that's great. Because then round the table, it's like, then she's just screaming her head off. And it's like, you were gonna go for dinner at their house anyway. Like, you were offered 3 times. 2 times. One at the petrol station. He said, "Oh, come back and give you some barbecue or whatever." And then
I didn't expect Robin to be an apologist for the cannibal family when we started.
No, but that's how you view it as an older person. Like, how dare you be so rude?
But you're right. It's like that scene in Street Trash as well, where the guy's cleaning his window and he's like, "Oh," and then he gets chucked through and you're thinking, just pay the fella, and just in case, because we are an educational pod as well. I don't want anyone else to get tricked out there, so don't forget as well the meaning of, if anyone offers you some head cheese now as well online or something, it's also when you haven't cleaned around the rim of your cock.
Great.
Yeah. So
there's
you know what you're getting into. Yeah.
Well, I suppose the thing is,
I'm glad I know that. I'm glad I was fucking so naive.
Yeah. In case anyone's selling it online or something.
American delicacy, and I'm agreeing to try it.
It's still a southern delicacy.
Yeah.
Global.
I mean, even if you're eating it off the spoon, it's still not the same thing, is it? No.
Good.
Anyway, delightful. So we're going over to. Well, I was going to say Norway, because I think it's this is a Norwegian, Polish, Danish, Romanian, Swedish film production.
They were always like that, though, aren't they?
They're
always like that, the kind of Norwegian films we've seen. Yeah,
but it was shot in Poland, I think.
Right.
But it's in Norwegian language. It's primarily Norwegian. And this is the Ugly Stepsister, debut feature from director-writer Emily Blichfeldt, I'm going to say.
Pretty good, I reckon. Checks out.
And this is like a Cinderella rewrite, I suppose.
Yeah.
How do we? I don't know. I mean, that's all. That is basically what it is. So I don't know how much we wanted to go into how different it is from Cinderella. But
I did look up some stuff because I was curious about this, because I felt like I'd seen somewhere or heard on the radio or something, someone talking about the cut. Well, I don't want to. It was a bit of a spoiler,
the toe scene.
The toe scene, yeah, the cutting the toes. I felt like that. I'd known from somewhere that was actually in the Grimm's fairy tales.
Right, in the original.
Yeah, but it was.
I tell you where else it's emphasized as well, because it came rushing back to me while I was watching it. When Roald Dahl did all his kind of versions of this, like he put out one
revolting nursery rhymes.
Yes,
like
yes. So his version of Cinderella has got all that stuff in, but yeah, in the source as well. It's got
in there.
Yeah.
So it's actually kind of faithful.
Well, it's like that meets sort of Wicked, if you like. I was going to say.
Yeah, I thought this film was. I thought it was a great film.
It was a really great film.
Really liked it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. Like from the opening, like title sequence, and it really felt almost like a Kubrick film at times. It felt like Barry Lyndon at times, like the way it was shot, those long lenses and like
the music is great.
The music is great.
Yeah.
The opening was great. The opening credits and the neon pink and that really like modern take and feel to it. I thought it was a really brilliantly made film and a great script and a really brilliant, like interesting idea of seeing Cinderella from the Ugly Stepsister's point of view and her being like the sympathetic character, because I did feel for her quite a lot through it. Like you was on her side, right?
Oh yeah.
This is Leah Miron, who gives a fantastic performance.
She was great. And especially like because I noticed sort of like when you saw her arms in the beginning, right? Like I did think they look a bit weird, her arms. So it must have been like some sort of makeup with CGI.
It does. Well, they talked. I saw a little interview, and they talked about wearing, but they didn't. It was a what do you call it? What's the Robert Redford film fest? Sundance. It was a Sundance one.
Oh yeah.
The interview was a bit terrible, really. Because it was all right. But yeah, they talked about just having quite a lot of prosthetics, because there was a lot of prosthetics in that film that I thought, how the fuck did you do that? The bit with the eye, like I was like, oh my god, that's how did you do that? That's so great. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It's her debut film, isn't it? So it's like very, very impressive in that way as well.
And I feel like she's a student of the game. Like I felt like shades of like Nicholas Winding Refn. And and like a little bit like Kubrick-y definitely in times. And then come on, man, like the girl in the bath eating spaghetti. That's Gummo. Come on, like, that's the clearest nod ever to Gummo, man.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that.
It's funny you mentioned Kubrick. I one of the visual. I wrote a bunch of visual references. One is obviously Clockwork Orange when she's got her eyes.
The eyes.
I was thinking when the tapeworm comes out, and I was thinking that's like Fulci's City of the Living Dead when the woman baths up her guts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the thing it reminded me most of was speaking of videos. Do you remember that movie, The Beast or La Bête from like the mid-70s, which is another fairy tale kind of retelling with it's famous for like the ending. There's like this beast that chases a woman and she jacks it off at the end, like and I apparently it was.
I'm not sure.
Tonight,
So I don't remember that.
Is a fan of that director.
I think you've ever had to do.
But I looked it up after, and she was apparently a big fan of the director of that film, Valerian Borovchik, I think is how you pronounce his name. But,
I don't think I've seen it.
I don't know. The title rings a bell. Maybe for me it could have been in. But I'm thinking of The Beast Within.
Well, they did show the back in the days when they used to have. Do you remember Film 4 Extreme or whatever that series was? I think Mark Kermode used to do the intros. I think they showed La Bête maybe then, I think. I mean so much to I really, because sometimes these things as well, when they get towards the final, you think it's a bit much, or they over egg the pudding, but But I think in this case, it was so nicely over the top, and it went to this like grotesque place, and it was just absolutely
It was perfect.
right.
It was just right, and the costumes as well, and the look of it. Some of the fucking shots look like Renaissance paintings. Like they were just like the dull, muted tones of like the clothing and the interiors, like the set design and stuff. It was so impressive, you know, and a real modern feel to it as well at the same time. And and so current, like with the themes thematically, with like looks maxing and all this fucking like body dysmorphia and people, you know, like altering the way that they look at them, and it just bang on the money, man, bang on the money.
The music was sort of like 80s fancy music, wasn't it?
Yeah,
sort
very
like,
that's why Wyndham Ref and synth.
Yeah.
Neon.
It really worked.
Highlander
well,
Yeah.
It reminded me a little.
You wouldn't necessarily
Kroll.
That music. Kroll. Kroll. Exactly. Yeah.
I wonder if Emily Blichfeld is a Krull fan. I wouldn't be surprised. But it also
felt like Kroll in the woods with the smoke through the trees, you know, the 80s, like, you know,
it reminded me
like
a
Kate
little
Bush music video, you know.
A little bit of. Do you remember the film we watched, Robin, for another show, Yearwig?
Yeah. Was that Welsh?
No,
that wasn't Welsh, was it? That wasn't the Welsh.
No, that was. I can't remember where that's from, but because that director's recently had a box set from Severin, right, with a bunch of her stuff. But yeah, so there's a touch of that in there as well. I'm glad you both really enjoyed it, because I really did. As I was quite surprised how good it was, actually.
I'm going to suggest to anyone that enjoys Wicked to watch it.
Well, I haven't seen Wicked,
well, it's a similar premise, isn't it? It's you look at it from the Wicked Witch's point of view, and
it just didn't hold back, did it? So when when she found out, when she caught Cinderella fucking the stable hand, like that was.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That was like Gaspar Noé, like levels of graphic, you know, like with bugs all over the screen.
Needless shot of a penis.
Close-ups of arseholes and vaginas.
Well, I thought that I don't know what your opinion with that is, because I thought it was the horse was getting randy as well, and it was kind of like humping the stable door, watching them. And that spunk, I thought at the end of that was actually the horse spunk, yeah. Oh. Anyway,
I don't know. That would have been a bit wanting. That horse would be ashamed of that small amount, I think.
You reckon? Oh, maybe.
I'm no expert, but
and
I thought it was quite a lot of spunk, but it was more. It was tiny.
And Cinderella wasn't a fucking nice person, was she? You didn't like her too much.
Not really, no. She was a flawed character, you know.
Yeah, which was great. And you know, you felt. I mean, she was being downtrodden and, you know, mistreated and stuff. So you know, you want to sort of feel sorry for her, I guess, for that reason. But it was hard to, because she just wasn't very nice.
Did you happen to catch interesting? Did you notice what that actress's name is?
Who? Which one?
She has a very interesting name. Her name is Thea Sophie Loch Ness.
I did notice that, actually, but it was spelled in a weird way, like the Ness was spelled
with the A and the E together.
Oh yeah, I did notice that. Yeah.
I don't know if it's her real name or a pseudonym. I don't know.
Yeah. And that's Cinderella, right? That was her.
Yes. Yeah.
I do wonder if that film was a reaction to Wicked in some way, because, like you were saying, George, about it being very current and relevant, sort of thing. I wonder if they were just, because it's like the horror reaction to. I hated Wicked, but that's why I come a little bit. I watched it because my two work colleagues really like it, but I really hated it. Huh? It wasn't.
It wasn't Wicked.
No, it was.
The other recent film it kind of pairs quite well with as well is The Substance, right? It's like a period version of that story in a way.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
And they both kind of go kind of towards the gross, like
go
deliberately.
right to the, push it to the limit. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think this was more. I liked the substance as well, to be honest with you. I like both, but this for me, if I had to choose between the two, this was a bit more my
100%. I would choose this one. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It was such a good film, and like just the way it just flipped everything, you know, on its head, and also like there was obviously like, and I don't know if it was like I don't know if they were supposed to be like phallic or whatever, but this idea of these worms or these maggots inside there, these you know, like all the way through from that opening shot where I think the credits come up quite late when the dad had died. I'm pretty sure that and that long shot across the table, that slow pan, and then it had all like the maggots in the fruit, and then he had maggots crawling out of his eyes, didn't he? Was covered in them. The dad, like,
that was hilarious that they never buried him.
Buried him.
Did you notice? Did you stay till the end of the credits? At the very end of the credits, he makes one final appearance. And he's now just a desiccated skeleton with cobwebs all over him.
That's a shame.
Just at the very end, little gag.
And then obviously, then her worms and big things inside of her that she had to purge, you know. And parasites, man, they really make me feel uncomfortable. Anything parasitical is like, just does it. Like there's such a good device. Like Alien is the ultimate parasite, right? He fucking lays the egg and bursts out.
Yeah, I don't know if tapeworms look like that when as a egg. It would be great if they did, but they're super disgusting.
Was you worried that when she was trying to pull it out, it was going to snap off?
It would snap,
yeah. They definitely they ran out.
Because she has to tug it a few times. She's been careful. Yeah, no, that was really well done. Really well done.
I tell you what was great as well was it was the longest sort of stomach gurgle in any film I've ever seen as well. Just that they let that go.
It became a character.
The gurgle, exactly, just all the way through, just The
other thing I liked about it is...
And so you knew something was going to come of that, right?
Oh, yeah. But the payoff was great because of that,
It's like setting up the gun in the first act or the bomb in the first act. Or, you know what I mean? It was like, you knew that something was coming with that, and you were just waiting for it. Which is another great device.
The other thing that's cool about it as well is... what I like is obviously it's part of a wave of new cinema as well, where, you know, there's a lot of kind of criticism of like patriarchy and kind of how the way, you know, women are represented and things that they have to do and stuff like that. But what I liked about it, unlike other films, and we might get to this with the next one actually, is I didn't feel like I was being told off. Like,
no.
Like I
know what you mean.
I'm behind all that. Don't get me wrong, but I like to feel as if I'm part of the conversation. I'm not just the enemy being told off. You know, like I'm into this as well. Do you know what I mean? And this didn't feel like it was just
of like
trying to
Yeah, I agree.
Because it takes two to tango, right? And that kind of weird mindset you get into. It's not just about being oppressed by someone else. It's about what you decide to take on yourself as well, right?
I watched it completely blind, so I had no idea where it was going.
Yeah,
I was worried that it was going to go like, you know, that she was going to get together with the Prince Charming somehow, and then he would just be this abusive bastard, you know, and it would be kind of go down that route. And so it was like, as it was progressing, I was getting more and more kind of confident and comfortable that it was not going in that direction, and just
the other thing I like
playing its own sort of game.
Was because if you remember from the beginning, the reason she actually falls for the prince is because she's in love with his poetry.
Right? Yeah.
And I thought what would have sucked would have been if at the end, if they'd have had some kind of reveal like, oh, he didn't write that poetry after all, or someone else wrote it for him, because then it would kind of mitigate the fact that, oh no, you can be a good artist and a bastard as well.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that. I like the fact that they didn't totally black and white it. Like,
well, he was a complete arsehole, you know, and he was the one of the villains, I guess, in it, really, in a weird way. He was one of the, and all good villains should be layered, right? They should be, you know, the best villains are layered. So it would have taken away from that.
Yeah.
Oh, sounds like we're all very, very positive about Ugly Stepsister then.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I don't know why I missed it, really.
Yeah, I was just so chuffed that I got to see it. You know, that I was made to watch it. Well, you know, I wouldn't have watched it probably otherwise, and I really, really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Did it not get? Because again, I'm a bit out of the loop, but my feeling was obviously it's not a huge film. It's not like in multiplexes like Avengers films or something. But I got the feeling, did it not get a bit of a buzz around it when it came out in the UK, like a bit of a bit of a cult kind of thing, or
if it did, I can't remember.
I don't really have much of no. It wasn't like it didn't come across my radar, but you know, I'm not like that active in looking for new stuff. But some stuff you can't avoid, right? It's just on your.
Well, that's what I mean. Like we mentioned the substance, right? Like for instance, you wouldn't have to go out and search for that. It would you hear about it, right? So I thought Ugly Stepsister might be in that same category, but obviously not.
It kind of restores my faith in cinema, these sort of films, you know, because all this shit that's getting made makes me not want to watch them. All these big action, fucking mega budget franchise bullshit. You know, I just end up watching old films, you know, over and over again, and trying to find new old films that I haven't seen. You know?
Have you seen?
Like, wow, like cinema's alive, man. It's really alive. And this film and the other film, it's like it's the freedom that these filmmakers seem to have to be able to really realize their vision. The other film that it kind of reminded me of, in a weird way, I keep coming back to it, is Saltburn. In the sense that it has this like freedom to just someone's given them money, you know, to make art, and I love that. I just wish there was fucking more of it.
Although I hated Saltburn.
well, you know, Saltburn was.
But it wasn't.
Right.
You're right though. That it did have it had an amount of freedom to it.
Whole mise en scene, it had this whole you know, like total control by the filmmaker. Like, to say that this is how I want the fucking titles to look, and the look and feel of it. This is what I want.
I mean,
you know,
a good example of the opposite of that is this recent film with Sacha Baron Cohen. The advert for that is just atrocious. What is it? It's basically Sacha Baron Cohen becomes he runs into a lamppost and becomes and ends up in a alternate reality.
George's face. Yeah. Explaining it. You what?
he ends up in he's a sexist, and he ends up in an alternate reality where you know, the sexes are reversed. So and that
sounds like a film that's going to tell you off.
Well, it's just quite a good example of like the over-engineered Netflix sort of thing where you know, like hundreds of producers are involved, and they're just gonna screw it out.
But also with that kind of thing, that's the problem. Like sometimes when people start talking about when they use woke as a pejorative term or whatever, which I don't do, but I kind of know what they're getting at, and is it's not that you're against the progressiveness, it's that you're aware that the progressive thing is so easy to copy, and it's so easy to pretend to be that people slip under the radar, right? Like if you just say the right thing, like if someone says, well, actually I am essentially a feminist, but doesn't mean they are, it's just they know how to talk the talk and walk the walk, but the predators are still out there, right? So they're more dangerous.
They know how to navigate the landscape and blend in.
Exactly.
Because they've been taught. We've talked
exactly.
It's also just
shit. Are you getting on with that then, Clive? Are you done you all right over there, mate?
Yeah, I'm getting away with a lot.
All right,
I teach a class if you're interested, online one.
Oh yeah. Should we talk about Gaua? There was one other thing I wanted to say about Ugly Stepsister, which it was specifically like you were saying, and I have sympathy for what you were saying, George, about like how it's easier just to look back into the past and maybe search for older films that you haven't seen before, and it's so like, because it is, and as you were saying before we started, because everything's so atomized, like on different platforms and stuff, it's hard work to find the good stuff.
But when you do come across something like this, you realize, like, okay, it is kind of worth the search if you can.
It is. Yeah. I just wish that I had someone to just keep saying, watch this, watch that, and they're going to be as good as the two films that I watched. Do you know what I mean? Because they were both gems. Like, you know, they were both gems. Like, I really like the other one as well. Are we going on to that?
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
so we have a
thanks,
different
Clive.
opinion here.
You didn't like this one.
Yeah. So this is Gaua, right?
Gaua, yeah.
The
Yeah,
Night,
I liked it.
A Basque language, 17th century horror film, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't know.
You didn't like it?
No.
I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. I would go far to say this film is a fucking masterpiece.
Wow.
Okay. For me, it just, like, I loved it. I love folk horror, like folky sort of witchy horror.
Yeah.
I felt like it took. I mean, it's in the vein of the Robert Eggers sort of type thing, right? Of taking a genre and then delivering on all the tropes, like taking the tropes, boiling them down to their rawest form, like black cats, witches on fucking broomsticks, and you know, just everything that you think of when you think of like witches, you know, hundreds of years ago. And I just felt like it delivered, and some of the creatures and that were really fucking unnerving and creepy, and yeah, I just loved it. And again, I thought it took like a pretty, I guess like tired kind of genre, and then really put a modern spin on it. You know, where the church would no, and we've seen the church be the enemy, like be the bad guys before, you know. But almost like celebrating the occult, and I think that's really fucking important, actually. Like, because you know, like I feel that like our mysticism as a species, you know, especially in England, you know, like has been so like taken from us, like this ancient connection that we had to like magic and like you know, like a ritual, and the connection that we have to our environment and nature, the elements, has been sort of you know, swept away by you know, organized religion and you know, Christianity, and I love the way that it sort of kind of like took what was considered, like, imagine like that movie, fucking like seeing Baphomet, you know, the horned god in the 60s, 70s, 80s. You know, he would be the monster, you know, the antagonist.
Yeah.
But he was a sympathetic
It's
character.
like it was like the Earth Mother or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like a sympathetic character, and I loved it. I fucking loved that, man.
I
think that like that's a signpost that like we're actually changing as a race, like that we're really seeing things in a different way now.
Yeah,
you know?
Well, maybe we do have some contradictions to that.
But like I do believe there is an awakening of some kind. Like, you know, I do believe there is some sort of like the amount of people that are more conscious now than they were when we were growing up, man. Like, even like, I see it in working class people in particular. You know, a lot of them now are into like fucking yoga and doing spiritual retreats. Geezers that I know, like fucking meditating and eating organic food. Like, that's unheard. You go back to like 1985, 1986. That's fucking unheard of.
Yeah. I mean,
you know, so...
well, I was gonna say, like, because I wanted to. It was when I watching it, I thought, oh, this is the film I wanted to make, like, because we visited this sort of medieval village, and I took some lovely photos of like the family and stuff there. All that sort of natural light, really kind of, the colours are amazing, and I really wanted to do something. And you know, my idea is slightly different, but it was similar in that this idea of like when obviously mine would be earlier, but when the Celts, you know, got replaced by the Romans. But, yeah, but looking it up, like this whole thing of the Basque Country is like a very strange part of Europe, in that it's, you know, it's in the Pyrenees, isn't it, on the border between France and Spain, and they speak that one language that's like
autonomous zone, right?
Yeah, but the Basque language is an ancient language. It's not connected to, you know, Spanish
to be honest,
or
that's
French.
the main reason I chose this film as part of our little package, sight unseen. I was just fascinated by the idea of, I mean, this director Paul Urquigo Ali Ho, maybe. He has done a couple more. There's one he did.
He's done a lot of films like that, hasn't he? Where it's all kind of magical and.
Eremantari is.
Me and George will watch them
2 years ago, so you might want to watch that as well because you enjoyed this.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there was a lot more kind of magical stuff in what he's done. So I like that the thing of the old world meeting the new, but I think that has been done a fair bit recently, but. I like the way he.
What do you referencing? The lesbian relationship? Is that what you kind of mean?
No, I mean the old world, as in the occult, like you were talking about, meeting the church, and the priest was pretty creepy, wasn't he? He was. And all the costumes were great, but then looking at it from a Basque point of view as well, like having that, that they're a kind of culture that's actually. Really, a
little bit more in touch with their mysticism.
Because they're kind of like, they're almost like the ghouls or something, you know, in that way. So,
and it was kind of like an anthology as well, wasn't it? You know,
right? It had a few different
horror in a way.
Oh yes.
And I love my favorite horror movies in anthology horror is The Creepshow. My favorite,
right.
And I felt like it was like, you know, with the little stories and stuff. So I was digging it on that level.
I wasn't sure I was going to warm to that, and I reckon that's possibly why Clive didn't like it. But I don't know. I'd like to. Wait. Let me guess. I want to guess.
Okay. No.
I'm probably wrong.
The anthology thing.
Fine. You're fine with that.
It's not so much an anthology. It's a bit like in the same way as the Arabian Nights or. Saragossa manuscript works as stories within stories. Someone will say, "Oh, did I tell you about that?" And rather than like carefully delineated, like that kind of thing, you know.
Yeah. And the last thing I'll say, just before, I want to hear what Clive, you know, what you didn't like, Clive, or I want to hear Robin tell me what Clive didn't like.
I'm wrong. I want to guess, man.
Like, there's not enough horse.
The end sequence was fucking. Pretty amazing, guys. Come on, like that dance and shot where it went up, and there was visually like, and they were all moving around and fucking in the sky. And,
I think as well.
Demon come out like oh man.
The sort of low budget nature of it added to it as well, in my opinion, because it wasn't perfect, but then it gave it that otherworldly thing, you know, by being not perfect.
Special effects are a little bit like
when they're a little bit off, they can work. You know, we've talked about that with huh?
The rabbit was shit. The hair.
The rabbit was shit. But on the other hand, the rabbit was good in that way. Again, when it looked more CG, it was quite terrible. But when it was flitting about a little bit, then it would look pretty good.
Yeah, and close up when it was like breathing and shit.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. Yeah,
but I think Clive doesn't like it because he's Baphomet, isn't it, Clive? You feel a bit told off. I don't know. No, I don't know.
There was an element. Well, like we were saying with it, like it's funny hearing you talk about it makes me wish I liked it. Like conceptually, all that stuff I agree with, and I wish I did enjoy it. And I did also feel as I was watching it, like I was quite disconnected from it. Like some films, you don't like them, but you're kind of like you feel as if you get it. I was watching this and I was like, I'm not getting this, but I'm feeling as if it's probably connecting with someone, but for whatever reason, is not connecting with me. But yeah, to your point, Robin, I did feel a little bit unlike Ugly Stepsister. Like that priest character was such a
cliche
a
sort of
symbol of toxic masculinity,
right?
You know, and then when the two girls start getting it on, it felt a bit. Oh, okay, I see where you're. You know, it's not that. You know, I don't have a problem with it, but again, it's that thing of when it's not progressive after a certain point, right? It's just like, yeah, I've seen this before, and it doesn't necessarily have to be, but it's just I feel as if the filmmaker thought that they were showing you something you haven't seen before, and I was thinking, no, I have, get on with it, kind of thing. And it just, I didn't connect with, and I wish it did. And yeah, when they went up in the sky and all that, I thought, yeah, this is, again, conceptually, I really wish I was enjoying this, but it's very difficult to say why exactly. I can't articulate it. It
Well,
just
I can see
did
your
not
point.
connect with me.
I can see your point, actually. Like, I know you.
Yeah, I hate it now.
Fuck that movie.
It's like
Fuck that movie.
it's like All White House is Dave in the pasture, right? Yeah.
I don't hate it.
It was a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just shouldn't,
No,
Dave.
I honestly thought it was visually stunning. I loved the themes.
It did look great. Yeah, I'll give you that. It did look.
And just like I loved the way it hit all the notes in terms of the tropes of that genre. It was unnerving. I love folk horror. I love anthology. I love what it did with what I said about it. You know, sort of spinning the whole the way we see, you know, the occult or other gods and idols, which hundreds of years ago you'd have been fucking burnt for just having an idol, and that's what it was about, right? You know.
Speaking of folk horror, and we've mentioned the opportunity to see Texas Chainsaw on a big screen. Not that long ago, I also got to see The Wicker Man,
the original,
which I'd never seen on a big screen.
I still haven't seen that either, so I've got to watch that.
Yeah, that's definitely worth seeing on it because of the musical thing about it, right? Like seeing that on I was reminded how fucking good that film is.
Great movie.
Yeah.
And like an accident, really, isn't it? Like, because it was just another one of those fucking low budget Hammer movies, you know. And then
have you seen? I haven't seen it yet. There's this new documentary out called Children of the Wicker Man.
No.
Oh yeah,
which it's basically about the director Robin Hardy's kids and how they grew up with the legacy of this film, which is not entirely welcome.
Okay.
Like the making of that film really fucked up his family. And there's a doc all about it now called Children of the Wicker Man. Apparently, it's very, very good.
See that, yeah. But
anything more to say about Gaua, if I'm pronouncing that right?
I think I've gushed over it enough, really. But yeah, no, I loved it. Rob, what you liked it as well, right?
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah,
what popped for you?
Again, it was the first film I watched in this. Like, I watched it. You know what my memory's like, so it's like fading. But so that's why I was looking over my notes. But
you take notes, Robin.
This time I did. I did. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, the aesthetic of it was what I really liked. I really liked that, the occult meeting the Romans aspect. Like the not the Romans, the religious aspect. And
something they can do nowadays really well, I've noticed, which is kind of a bit more recent to cinema in general, which is you can now shoot scenes at night and in the dark well, and you can actually see what's happening, but you don't take away from the darkness. That's a relatively new thing, right?
Yeah.
I remember your brother, Robin, when we were kids, like I distinctly remember this, like we were like him moaning about like stuff being shot, like films in the dark and you can't see them, and how annoyed, how pissed off he was. So it's funny.
Was that Lee, was it?
Yeah.
All
right.
I remember him just going off on a rant about it,
Yeah, right.
from what I can remember, it was a film I was enjoying, and then he just fucking shit all over it. I was like, oh, he's right. Actually. But yeah, but that's a really good
Terminator.
point. That's a really good point. You could see it all, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's never compromised that it's night and dark.
Yeah.
Sorry, Robin, I interrupted you.
No, I don't think I have that much more to say about it. I think I'd I said that because I did write that down because I knew it was Monday and I'd forget. But I said the premise was ever so slightly on the nose. But in terms of like the three witches and that being Shakespearean, and then the gossip thing, and and then it having that, it's like vignettes, is it? I suppose that like you were saying that.
Yeah.
This is interesting, Robin. I've just noticed. I've never heard anyone else do this before. You say premise like.
I noticed that.
Oh yeah.
I thought I've been saying it wrong for my whole fucking life.
No, premise.
No, it isn't.
Well, no, it's just I noticed because people say I've always said a primer for something, but apparently it's primer.
Bollocks. Bollocks.
No, that's bollocks.
It's primer.
Yeah.
It's a load of bollocks.
No.
And anyway,
Anyway, we've been schooled by Robin in pronunciation today.
Feel free to leave a comment, and if you're and I'll tell you to fuck off if you're. Which we wouldn't do if you're commenting about Hinduism and we know fucking nothing about Hinduism.
Oh yeah, we
won't get involved. We'll just go but if you start talking to me about primer.
Yeah, this is our territory. Back off.
I don't know. I don't have anything more to say about it really. Like I say, if I can remember, I just thought, I just found it very enjoyable. The end.
I'm just glad these films are being made.
Yeah,
if you don't quite like them or you don't, it's just good that they're being made.
It was good.
Because
at first the hearing the Basque language with the subtitles was good as well. It's quite an interesting language in terms of horror. It's quite. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's quite immediate sounding.
But I had that. I knew sort of like that vibe that they were sort of their own thing, and a little bit attached to that mysticism. Do you know what I mean? Like that. And obviously with the Basque separatists and all the shit that's gone on there for years, them being almost like the IRA and like all that sort of like, myth around them, almost.
Yeah.
Sort of pick that up in this film a little bit,
Yeah. No, I mean, it reminded me of, is it called The Witch or what's that?
Yeah, it was very much like that.
Yeah.
I got witch vibes from it as well.
Did you like that, Clive, or not?
I did like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very similar premise, I thought, to this film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Right. Glad we're all on board. Did you like the premise of The Witch, George?
Me? I like The Witch, yeah.
Good.
But
specifically the premise.
I like the premise.
Good. Right, good.
Yeah, actually, didn't that have witches flying up in the air at the end as well?
God, I can't even remember that. Well, there's no surprise.
Yeah, and I think there should be more witch movies. Witches
all for it.
Loads of them.
Yeah.
Great.
Although not to destroy anyone's if they're having a good time with it, but apparently that isn't Anya Taylor-Joy at the end. Apparently that's some Victoria's Secret model.
Oh, okay.
I do apologize.
Oh, okay.
When they're flying about in the nod.
In the nod.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In the land of Nod.
Okay. The Wizard of Nod.
Oh no, George actually genuinely looks crestfallen.
Yeah, no, I am. I was just thinking about, the you know, that idea of like a lot. I mean, that film was about repressed sexuality as well, wasn't it? You know?
Right.
And,
Right.
And just it's just and how that ties into witches. I was just going off on one, you know, about they're quite sexual actually, witches in a weird way, and we're kind of frightened of them. But
Well, I suppose that's kind of
hags, but like it's kind of a sexy film, wasn't it? You know,
Yeah.
And the witch has that as well.
Well, that's what I like is the premise of where the you know, the Romans. I'm going to go back to the Romans. Even though, we're talking Catholicism, but obviously they introduced it. They had to, they had to sort of destroy and scapegoat everything that existed in the, you know, in the British Isles, and so witches existed as a result of propaganda, not as a result of, you know, of anything real. A bit.
Well, everything just gets labelled pagan, right? Like, everything's pagan, heathen. There's no nuance to it anymore. It's just wrong. Yeah,
and so, but it does tie to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre really nicely, doesn't it? Because it's the same premise. I'll stop. But it is because it's
I do apologise. I brought it up.
All right. You know, it's now I'm stuck on it. But it's that thing of being, you know, wedded to, well, like in the Texas Chainsaw, I think they talked about it in that documentary, having all the kind of the cans and stuff hanging from the tree and the timepieces with a nail in it. But that's like a sort of Native American burial site or any other kind of burial site, and it's sort of you know, it's that connection to the old ways where
which have been taken away from them. Right?
We didn't idolize or fetishize, you know, disgust. You know, like we were just completely disgust free by the looks of things. We were much more connected to the brutalism of the planet, the brutalism of killing, the brutalism of our daily existence, and the gods almost represented that, or whatever the belief systems represented that, in that they were spread across the whole spectrum of nature, you know, it's spread across, and then by making a one true God, you know, that kind of idolized the human above the natural world, because it was a human God who was one, you know, who made everything. So it's sort of materialistic as opposed to being, you know, just a natural order of things. We had a God for everything, and pretty much every other sort of religious belief system had that before. You know,
Godism they had here. I mean, everything had a God here. Like everything you can imagine has a God. You know, as a
and it's so that's the connection to So you know, that's the connection to
and I think
brutalism.
Like, I don't know. I think I was going to go on some fucking tirade about shamanism and animism, and the idea that I think it was you talking about all the gods, the different gods. I don't know. I just like this idea of us sort of like dropping organized religion and discovering spirituality in our own way with freedom, without any, you know, any ideology or.
Well, we're so far from that, aren't we? Like, imagine like just deciding I mean, I remember Clive and his friend Darren, who Clive also does some stuff with. Didn't you used to just get naked and run down the street or walk down the street when you were in London? Yes, you did. Oh no, not you. Darren and what's his name? The other guy from Wales who did end up in London, who was Darren's.
Alan.
They would get
I don't think
naked.
he ended up in London. They used to have naked parties.
Ended up in prison.
Well,
Hey, London.
if they were, that's what I remember. He would walk. They would get like it was late at night, like 12 or 1 or whatever. They'd walk down the street naked.
That was Gareth, I think, his mate. Yes, I think you might be right. They did do that a couple of times with him because he does live in London as well. I used to. I don't know if he still does. No, that wasn't me.
I mean, imagine. I mean, you have the closest we have to I think, our kind of more our ancient past is that thing where everyone cycles through London naked. There's that.
Yeah, I mean, there's still lots of
There's
people that
still
like
stuff going on.
celebrate like all the different, like the equinoxes and the solstice, you know.
Yeah, but they tend to be quite sanitized and a bit like weird, maybe. I don't know.
I guess I hear what you're saying. Yeah, nothing like too extreme. I did go to like I went to a festival a couple of years ago called the Medicine Festival, and it's like a no alcohol sort of festival. Like I guess you call it like a hippie festival. And there was this one guy that was just naked for the whole fucking festival. Like, and it was almost like it was a thing. Like, look at me.
Oh right, he was the only naked guy in the village.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean,
exactly. Yeah.
Well,
it's funny, Robin. Well, I remember the couple of times I went to Glastonbury with you back in the what would that have been? That would have been 97, 98. I remember expecting a lot more naked hippie bollocks, but there wasn't much. There were
loads up in the green field. Yeah, I remember. Watching as like a 15-year-old, this woman give a naked guy a massage, and then he was getting like a hard on, and
well,
we were like,
that makes sense, right? That's really.
But it was really a furtive one, like, the brain was going, stop it. Anyway,
that's the thing, is that's when it becomes problematic, like you were saying, because it's a bit half-hearted. It's like, oh, let us now celebrate, the natural way, but don't let it get too natural, because we don't, it's like a weird.
Well, I am from my dad's a hippie, isn't he? So I mean, I'm from the. I went to dance
I've seen
camp.
Him naked.
I've seen my dad naked loads of times. Yeah, and Hollis has never seen me naked, and will never. My son and my daughter will never see. But yeah, so I'm a bit like. Yeah, more from the materialistic world, but having said that, in Wales, I grew up around tons of dance camp. Everyone was naked in dance camp.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think it's a problem if it's not a hang-up, right? Like, if it's not a hang-up, and if you can get naked and you're fine with it, then you're all right being clothed if you feel more comfortable. I think the problem is if you feel uncomfortable being naked. Yeah, that's the problem, right? Because you shouldn't feel uncomfortable in your own skin.
No.
So if you can, but you choose to go around, because in terms of practicality, for example, you wouldn't want to have a barbecue naked. You'd get a singed cock, wouldn't you? So
that's a good point. But also, it's the intention of the people getting naked as well.
Exactly.
And some people would want to get naked just because they get in some. They're getting turned on by it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think...
we were saying earlier about the...
You know what men are like? It's mainly men, isn't it? Men are going to be doing it and getting...
Yeah. And like we said earlier about the predators...
Creepy,
predators hiding behind the right words.
Exactly.
That's exactly what they do,
Come back round to that. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean... in the sort of hippie camps and whatnot that I went to... it very easily spirals into creepiness.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's a few people that think I'm going to get into that hippie movement because.
Well, the one I think I've told this story to you before, Clive. So, but maybe not. Anyway, the one incident I remember was this guy going. It was at dance camp, and he was naked, and he was massaging someone or something. But he was like, yeah, I mean, the thing about chakras it's like you feel them, like, so if you get like your, tantric, chanting down to like a real level, like you can feel your chakras just pulsating down and down until it sort of resonates right down there. And she was like, we'd gone from a conversation about chakras.
It's resonating.
Yeah, and how
I call it the resonator.
Yeah, it's just
Touch
vibrating.
the resonator.
And if you need to buy one, I can, sell them in my hippie shop. Anyway, that was the one time where I thought, I think that is why I might have swung the other way now.
The context for me was, what is dance camp? Because I'm
dance camp's like a hippie camp that I went to in Wales. That my dad and his then partner went to, and it's
was it like a summer campy type thing?
It's like it's right in the middle of summer, and it's kind of the field is owned by a hippie, and everyone. Everyone's a hippie, and there's a lot of circle dancing, which is quite like that's. I tried that once, and it was like, I'm not doing that because it's all about eye contact, and so you're all running around in a circle, and they're like, do whatever, just express yourself, and like, and find a partner, and just. And this woman came up to me, and she was like.
The thing you have to remember about rural Wales, especially in the mid-90s, I think, all the hippies in the UK seemed to go there to live for a time.
They all migrated from Devon, North Devon as well, because they couldn't afford to live there anymore. So they all migrated, including my dad.
Because it was a new world for me. Because I was in a little, like a village or whatever. And then when I went to sixth form college and bumped into Robin, and then Robin kind of introduced me to his very different world. And it was quite eye-opening for me, because it was like, I didn't realize. But then you realize, they're everywhere in Wales. Like, once you meet one group of kind of a little commune or something, they know another group and another group and another group. And then you realize, fuck, there's loads of them out here in the woods. And if the locals knew, they'd be after them with shotguns. And sometimes they were.
Yeah. Well, we had.
Do you remember the travellers who sometimes stayed up on the hill behind?
Well, that wasn't sometimes. That was permanent for a while. Yeah.
Well, but sometimes they'd go on their manoeuvres or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember one year they came through, and they were going to go through my village, and they were staying on the common, which they had before.
Oh, really?
And that year, because we knew they were coming, they went out and they covered the common in slurry.
Oh, what, the village?
Because they couldn't camp there. And
like the council? Or something? Like
no. The locals
council.
got together. They got a farmer with a tractor to go out, cover it in slurry.
Right.
And like all the local farmers were out there with fucking shotguns. Like,
wow.
I don't know what they were scared of. Fucking naked dancing and eye contact. Or, like, they were coming for our children or something. But it was fascinating because I could see both worlds, And it was quite interesting. I don't know what it's like now, but
yeah. Well, I wonder if Welsh farmers are the last of us to start with the yoga, like George Russo.
Yeah, that's true. yeah.
Like
a couple of decades after frightening off the hippies with a shotgun, they're like, I think gonna get it into this tantric sex. It sounds quite good, right?
Yeah.
It can come like a horse.
That thing of like, the farmers with shotguns, trying to ward off these hippies. It kind of that's what Gaua's about, really, in a way. Like Gaua. That's another thing. So Gaua's obviously the Basque word for night, right? Okay. I was thinking,
yes, I guess so. Yeah.
I thought it was in Spanish. I'll be honest. I didn't realise they had their own language, and I wondered why it wasn't called Noche when it come up.
Right.
Yeah.
Night, and it was Gaua, and I was like, okay.
Well, I
Yeah.
noticed the version we watched as well. You could switch from Basque to
Yeah.
Catalan, and I accidentally started watching it in Catalan, and they
Yeah.
did say noches then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it was poorly dubbed
It was poorly dubbed. Yeah.
It was poorly dubbed
when it was in the Catalan
Spanish.
version.
Yeah, I tell you what might have happened. Did you watch it in Spanish? Is that why you thought it was Spanish? Yeah.
Because it did look badly dubbed.
Yeah, I think the default language on the file was Catalan, and then you have to switch it to the original Basque.
Yeah, because even when you were saying, Rob, it was in another language, I was like, fucking, it really sounded like Spanish to me.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, that's
I should have probably said when I figured that out. I
might watch it again. My partner, I was telling my partner about it. I might watch it.
Well, yeah,
watch it,
and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, definitely, 100%. But anyway, like that weirdly ties into that film, because of this repressed religion being scared of what they don't really know or understand, this freedom or this
Well,
sex,
that's sort of interesting about Wales in general, I suppose, is because like that Wales was one of the last bits of the country that sort of the north of England and Wales were like the last bits where the Celts were left alone and like not, kind of the Roman Empire hadn't properly.
Yeah. Well, the Picts up in Scotland, right? And then the Welsh, they were both like, oh, fuck that. Those maniacs with red hair, leave them alone.
Yeah, exactly. But then, but Wales is so well, or you can see the impact of Catholicism in Wales quite heavily still, can't you?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
Well, this has been lovely.
Yeah.
Having George on again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been great. I really enjoyed it. Thank you guys for suggesting it. I'll be honest, at first it was like, oh, it's a chore. When it was all those movies, I was like, how many fucking films have we got?
That's what I think everyone's going.
I thought we watched 2 films and discussed them, but it's fucking rubbish. Extremists, we've got to watch 5 films.
Yeah. Well, then we need to make it long enough that no one's going to watch.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we didn't even get to Boxman because we didn't have time to watch it.
Yeah, but we should maybe we should watch that and talk about it another time.
I'm happy to do that, because I found it quite interesting. And like I said, actually, if you are, I would recommend reading the book because it's the original book from the 70s is one of those, one of those books that people refer to as, unfilmable, right? And I was kind of trepidatious as well. I was like, oh, how are they going to pull this off? And I would argue they've done it to a certain... I mean, it's not as good, like, if you're talking benchmarks of unfilmable books that someone has actually managed to film, I think the high benchmark is David Cronenberg with Naked Lunch.
Oh, I wondered if you was going to bring that up. I thought you might.
Naked Lunch and Crash, actually, as well. Both from books that you would think you wouldn't be able to put on screen, but both brilliant. And especially in terms of Naked Lunch, he's clearly...
Because there's no fucking narrative to that. That book is like...
No.
I mean, well, it's very chaotic, it is.
And he takes in other things. He takes in things from Burroughs' real life and mixes it in, and and all that. So, and Boxman as well, similarly, kind of veers a little bit from the text in order to make it cinematic. And I wouldn't say it's as good as either of those 2 films, but it's definitely... I was pleasantly surprised. And so if you both fancy reading... Boxman's not a very long book. It's quite a slim volume. So if you both fancy reading it and then watching the film, we can definitely talk about that at another time.
Yeah.
And come on again, Josh. Come on more often.
100% I will. Yeah, how often do you do it?
Well, we haven't done it for ages.
A bit of a gap. Well, that's the good thing about it, because it's not a regular schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, we can just do it whenever we want, whenever we can, So, so there's no pressure on being like every month or something.
Once you lock it in, it becomes like, oh, I've got to fucking do that.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, we should have probably said bye to our audience. Then we can have this
this is a bit behind the scenes.
This is a bit shit.
Yeah, we'll put this on the Blu-ray.
Blue for real.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I'll just cut it. But
well, we'll carry on chatting a little bit.
Yeah.
And let's say bye-bye to the viewers.
All right, bye everyone. Thanks for sticking for this bit.